All right. Cheers to immortality. I'm almost out of this again. San Pellegrino. Second week in a row, I did not come prepared with enough of this. Oh well. Anyway, what I'd come in on here and chat about my pseudonym, Matthew the Immortal. I had a lot of people ask me where that came from. They asked, is it because you think you're immortal? Is it because you like vampires? Or what's the deal with that? So I thought I'd address it. So Matthew the Immortal came from, I really admired people who immortalized the words or themselves after they passed on. So throughout history, we read people's words like Caesar, Plato, Socrates, Alexander the Great. We remember them through their actions or what they did, what they conquered, what they accomplished, or their meditations they wrote, or whatever they wrote, or what people wrote about them. They're immortalized through their words or what they did. So I always really admired people who became immortalized through their actions or the mark they left on the world or the words that they wrote that got left behind. So that is where I came up with the Matthew the Immortal, because I do hope to make an impact on this world that gets remembered by myself, by other people, that gets written about. I hope my words transcend on other lifetimes that inspire others. I hope I do leave a mark, actually like a landmark, I hope to build one day, that gets transcended throughout time, that a lot of people come visit and really make a destination to come see it. I think that'd be really cool to make, is a landmark destination that people travel to from around the world to see a little bit of your legacy that lives on. So that is also where that came from. And that landmark destination is like a 20-year project. So check back in 20 years for that. Gosh, I'm already out. Goodness. So with the immortal topic in mind, I thought I'd share, I also brought a little extra, thought I'd share a story on Romania and Dracula's Castle. I secretly do really like vampires and immortality. I do wish we could live forever, actually. I wish we could be like vampires, live forever, because we're always so stressed about not having enough time. We're so busy trying to get the bills paid, trying to work, trying to have fun. We just don't have enough time. But if we were immortal, we wouldn't have to worry about time. We could just do what we wanted as long as we wanted. It'd be so much fun. But we're not immortal. So share this story about one of the first vampires. So when I was in Romania, I had met up with a friend, actually my travel fam friend that I met back in Rome, shared about a week or two ago. And met up with her in Romania, decided we wanted to go see Dracula's Castle. So we reconvened in Brasov, which is a little town centralized that you can go see so many little castles around. It's a good place to kind of set up home base and go explore all of Romania through. You can see so many things when you home base out of Brasov. So we home based in Brasov, and here's the story how we got to Dracula's Castle. So took a little side journey first, took a couple side journeys first. First, we went to this little place called, it's like oh wow, I should have looked this up. It's like Siena or Sienia. I can't really pronounce that one. But anyway, it's this little castle in the middle of the hills. The castle is called like Pel Castle or Pele Castle. And it's just tucked back in the hills of Romania. And you have to take like a couple trains to get there, and a bus, and then you like walk up through this town. You walk up like this huge driveway filled with markets and all the fall trees. But at this point we were there in the fall, so all the fall trees were like yellow and orange and etc. And you walk up this huge driveway all the way to this castle. It's like a hike to get there, but it's a beautiful hike the entire way, and you get to this castle, which is massive, carved out in this hillside. There's all these little hiking trails with a huge yard in front. You're like, wow, whoever lived here, royalty. We actually did not go in the castle because it cost too much money and we were poor. So since it cost too much money, we didn't want to go to that castle, and we were on the mission to go to Dracula's Castle. We went back down. So we went back down and decided to take another little side detour. There's this forest there that was advertised to have like a few waterfalls and a canyon and all these things. So when you go to this forest, there's a load of people there. I'm like, wow, this is pretty popular. It's got to be good. So we start going in the forest again, filled with fall trees, just orange and yellow and green as well, and just so many different types of trees. And the leaves are falling into the river, creeping out of the canyon. So there's a little creek. It's actually a creek. The creek flowing through the canyon, and the forest, a little walking trail by it. And we're going more into the thick of the forest. And all of a sudden we hear this. We're like, what the heck? Look up. It's all these zip liners. So we see all these zip liners zip lining through the trees in this forest in Romania. And we're like, how come we didn't sign up for that? I don't know how many connects there were, but it was like the entire forest they were zip lining through, like over the trail, over the creek, through the woods. I'm like, that is the way to travel through here. Why didn't we do that? We didn't even know where to go for that. Really bummed I didn't get to do that. When I go back, I'm definitely going to zip line through there. So we were there for the waterfalls. So we kept creeping up the forest, and we get to like the first waterfall climb, and it's like this creek, and you like climb up this ladder, and it's like into a canyon, and you can just see the waterfall just falling right beside you. You can like look down at it. It's really cool. So you crawl up like 3 or 4 ladders up to like 3 or 4 waterfalls through this canyon. So you're just winding through this canyon, and you're just right by the creek the whole time, the waterfalls, and it was just really enchanting. And then you get out, and it opens up back up to the forest, and you're like, wow, back into the forest, and it's so gorgeous. And you're just, I don't think there's any zip liners above the waterfalls, but we did get to the top of the hike, way back above the waterfalls, and it just overlooks the entire forest, filled with the trees. You're like, wow, this is a different type of forest. It was magical for sure. Really beautiful. So we decided to keep on our trek down to Dracula's Castle. Like, oh, we got to get back. Got to go see Dracula's Castle now. So we go back down the forest, get on a bus, and we take the bus to, the town was called Brandstown, or AKA Transylvania. So we get to Transylvania, get to Brand, and we see Dracula's Castle there. It's like the markets and then Dracula's Castle. You're like, whoa, that's super cool. So we just start like not running, but hastily walking because we're so excited. And like there's a little gate full of people, and we just go right through there, right into the castle. And we get to the castle, we just walk in, we're like, how come we didn't pay for this? Like, are we supposed to pay? Is this free for everyone? Turns out the little gate is where you're supposed to pay. We just walked right by it. Didn't even mean to. Very innocently. Just walked right by it, past the paying station. You're like, oops, sorry. We walked in the castle and got the full tour, like saw all the rooms with all like the old clothing and old furniture and the views, and it was really cool with like the little inside courtyard and the towers and seeing all like the antiques. And we were there at Halloween time. It was like 2 days before Halloween. So we got to this tower room, and we're just overlooking the entire valley and another forest, little pond down below. We're like, this is cool. Like, Dracula used to live here. Like, this is amazing. So we saw this cross, a silver cross, over the road and into the forest, just like not too far away. We're like, what is that? Why is there a silver cross over there? We're like, is someone buried there? Like, who's buried there? Right, there's a vampire buried there. So we're like, all right, crew, let's go. So we get out of the castle, take the back route out of the castle, so we didn't go back through the gate. And we like go through this valley and hike up to this little silver cross. And we're like, what is this doing here? And we look at the base of the cross, and then there's like little brick, and it reads, "He who lies here shall never die." Like, what? Like, who put this brick here? Like, was this supposed to be here? I think someone put that brick there as to like pull your leg, but it was like really cool to read nonetheless. And I don't even know why the silver cross is there. I don't know if someone was buried there, or is there a reminder, or what the case was, but I'm like, this is pretty cool to have read that. at the base of this cross. I'm like, there has to be a ghost or a vampire or something creeping around here. So we're just like looking around the woods, like, I hope we don't get stabbed. But actually, before that, we got warned, do not go out at night, especially during Halloween time, around Dracula's castle, because there's legitimate vampires there that will bite you. People will actually bite you at night and try to drink your blood around Dracula's castle. So I don't know if it's lore or if it's true, but there's legitimate signs there that say that. And I was like, I don't want to risk it. Like, I don't want to get bit by some weird vampire guy. So had a great time there. Went back down to the town, went to the markets in Bran, and it was just like really cool to see that and like kind of think about like immortality in our time and like the history of like Vlad the Impaler was supposedly there, and Transylvania and the history of vampires, and you know what we're supposed to be doing. Like, our time is fleeting, so we do have to like use our time wisely. Some people want to make impact, some people want to get by. I mean, use your time however you want. I personally want to do as much as I can. I want to have all these great adventures and memories and not just let time pass me by, not let life pass me by. So it was fun to kind of meditate on that while I was there, thinking about vampires and immortality and like reading that stuff. And I was like, wow. So that is kind of what led to Matthew the Immortal pseudonym. And that's kind of what I wanted to chat about. So thank you for listening, and cheers to being immortal. Thanks.